Objection!
We're done for. What? That's not cool.
Got it! Got it!
How odd. Why would you register surprise at opening the door to the lab? Alright, fine, I'll explain if I must. What surprised me was, Ponko, that toy figure, attacked me. Dr. Sykes knew full well of my plan to rescue Athena, but she couldn't stand guard over her daughter 24 hours a day. So Dr. Sykes had Ponko to do it. That's right, she ordered Ponko to forcibly remove me on sight. So I slashed Ponko with my katana that was there in the lab. That rickety old puppet wasn't worthy of that fine blade. Mr. Wright, it's happening again. There's even more noise now. What's going on here? Whenever we find an opening, he covers it up with lies. We'll never get rid of these noises at this rate. It's pretty hard to keep telling coherent lies like that. His mind and will are really sharp and strong as a katana. Alright, what should I tackle first this time?
Objection!
Dude, what is the inconsistency here?
Objection!
Compounding lies with more lies is never the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell. Take a look at this photo. That's the photo of the supposed moment of the murder, isn't it? How many more times must I see that which dang me for my sin? The ironic thing is, I think this picture is actually going to be your savior now. See the blood stain at the end of Ponko's arm where it was severed with a katana? I hope you aren't claiming it's the robot's blood, Mr. Wright. No, most likely the blood was transferred there from the bloody katana. The katana already had blood on it, so then it must have been the victim's blood. That's right, but if that's the case, we found a glaring inconsistency. You said in your testimony that you cut up Ponko and then you killed Dr. Sykes. But in spite of that, the victim's blood is already on Ponko's arm in the picture. What? But that couldn't be. Exactly. In order for the blood to have transferred from sword to Ponko's arm, the victim must have been stabbed first before the robot was slashed. In other words, Prosecutor Blackwell, your entire testimony is nothing but one giant ball of lies. God! Tell the court the truth, Prosecutor Blackwell, now. You have no idea what you're doing. His voice, there's so much discord. I'm hearing not just one or two, but a bunch of rampaging emotions here. It's hard to describe. It's like a violent whirlpool or something. Phoenix Wright, you will pay for this. Never have I been forced to reveal so much, but the rest I'll take to my grave. Prosecutor Blackwell, you're on the witness stand. You are obligated to tell the truth. Isn't that the rule of the courtroom? All of these complex emotions, they seem to be flowing from one source. I think whatever you really saw that day is what's causing these feelings. A terrible scene. Ah, the voice that hurts to even listen to. He's been living with this pain inside him for all these years. And the root of all of it's hidden somewhere in this testimony, isn't it? Yes, that's right. Please hurry. Please set him free, Mr. Wright. When you opened the door and saw Athena, you became overwhelmed by your emotions. Isn't that right, prosecutor? You should know better. And though it's pathetic, I admit I'm terrified to speak of it. Prosecutor Blackwell, Miss Sykes' innocence, I will always believe that with all my heart. Now, can't you find it within yourself to believe in me too? Athena is innocent, huh? Can you honestly say you believe that to be true, right, Donald? I give you my word. Now tell me what you really saw when you opened that door. Curse you! Here we go. It was a tragedy. One I'll never forget. When I arrived at the lab, Dr. Sykes was already dead. She was lying on the operating table, while the bloody katana lay on the floor. And standing between the two, covered in blood, was Athena. She smiled with a far-off look in her eyes as she sweetly said, "Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her apart to fix her." That's what I saw. And now you have it. The truth that you so desperately wanted. No. Prosecutor Blackwell finally tells the truth, and this is what it is. It's beyond devastating. I try to take my mother apart. I No! No! So it was me. I'm the one who killed my mother. Athena! As said, right, the truth isn't always pretty. Murder, disassembly on an operating table, a scientist using her daughter as a guinea pig. Sadly, it appears that my theory was correct after all.
Objection!
It's true that Athena didn't like her mother's research, but you dare cast aspersions on my mentor by claiming Athena was used in such a manner? Dr. Sykes could be awkward with people, but she loved your daughter with all her heart. She loved me? Your mother hated to see you suffer because you could heal for the voices of people's hearts. She wanted to set you free of your pain, so she worked tirelessly on her research. Do you remember those headphones you hated so much? Yes, my head hurt every time I wore them. No, Athena. It's just the opposite. They emitted sound waves to nullify emotional input from your voices of people around you. Your power is much stronger than it is now. And those headphones were that enable you to carry on with everyday life. No, that can't be true. Then why? Why would I have done something like that to somebody who loved me so much? Her love for you was real, that I can guarantee. That's why I knew. That's what happened had to be some kind of mistake. I couldn't let you be punished for it. So you took the blame yourself. You and your mentor are more alike than you know. Ponko was a witness, so I put it in the case, held Athena close, and vacated the lab. I threw Ponko away in the boarding lounge trash chute, and I hid the case on the Space Center grounds. It would seem that we now have all of the facts of this case.
Hold it!
No, not yet. I can't end like this.
Objection!
Do not disgrace yourself, Mr. Wright. The truth has been revealed. Or are you the type of man to turn your back to things that disagree with you? Hold on a sec. I'm not, but this... I can't give up now. I have to say something, anything, even if it's a bluff. I've always managed to pull through that way in the past. I have to make it work. The defense is, prepared to present evidence. Mr. Wright. Yes, Athena? It's okay. You can stop now. I don't want you or anyone else to suffer any longer for my sake. Athena, what are you saying? I killed my mother. That's the truth. It's just like Prosecutor Edgeworth said, we have to face it no matter how much it hurts. I admit my guilt. But could I please be granted just one chance to tell everyone what I recall? It appears Miss Sykes is much braver than you, Mr. Wright. What do you say, Your Honor? In light of her courage, will the court give Miss Sykes this opportunity to confess? Very well, then, if you would please take the stand, Miss Sykes. Thank you for letting me do this, Prosecutor Edgeworth. And thank you, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Blackwell, for letting the truth be known. Now we can finally move forward, and everyone's suffering can come to an end. Athena! Prosecutor Blackwell will be cleared and the Dark Age of the Law can come to an end. Yes, admit your guilt and bring everything to its conclusion. I killed my mother. My memory is still a little hazy, but there's no question I remember it. I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers. Your Honor, please find me guilty. I dare say these are all memories that no one but the murderer would have. I see. Thank you for your confession. I believe this trial has gone on long enough. But before we conclude, does anyone have a counter-argument? Dude, no.
Objection!
Apollo? I do, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? But Mr. Wright, why? I killed her. I remember it now. Any counter-argument now is pointless.
Objection!
Don't tell me you've forgotten one of the basic tenets of lawyering. Always believe in the client to the bitter end. Athena, you are not a murderer.
Objection!
I said that you never changed, but could you have actually regressed in these 8 years? I won't stand for your childish emotionalism getting in the way of the truth. Emotionalism? Don't lecture me on the matters of the heart, Edgeworth. Because I can see straight into a person's soul. I did a little research. I looked at the special Psyche locks you mentioned, Mr. Nick. Athena is just trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself. There's still a chance somewhere deep in Athena's heart. There might be still a memory that not even she knows about yet. It might be like looking for a grain of sand somewhere in the cosmos, but still, that memory might contain a new fact that could prove her innocence. I hope for everyone's sake that you are not just bluffing, Mr. Wright. Now then, is there not a problem with Miss Sykes' confession? There's definitely something wrong with her memory of the event, I can just tell. There is no blood on the end of the katana.
Take that!
Isn't that the katana the defendant used to kill the victim, Mr. Wright? I respectfully and vehemently disagree, Your Honor. But I remember it. I remember holding the weapon and getting blood on my fingers. That's exactly my point. If blood really did get on your fingers while you were holding it, there should be blood on the handle. But please focus on the handle of this sword. There's not a trace of blood on it. And therefore, this is clearly a contradiction of the facts. You're right. Oh my! Phoenix Wright. Back at it again with them white vans! The defendant must have simply confused a portion of her memories. She mentioned it was hazy to begin with, and we can't mull over every minor detail.
Objection!
But she also said there's no question I remember it, a fact we can't ignore. In that case, why don't you explain what this contradiction with her memories mean? Gladly, just give me a sec to think of something. Hang on. But she said it herself that she remembers the feeling of committing the act. Think, Phoenix, think. What are you up to this time? This is it. This time I just found a thing to get Athena's nightmare for good. That's just for sure. It could help me prove her innocent. A different weapon, you say? What weapon would be exactly? Right, of course he would ask that. I can see you're floundering, Mr. Wright. Did you speak without thinking again, as always? How does he do that? But I can't back down, not here, not now. That's right, I did. Because it's so obvious it doesn't require any thought. What did you say? Okay, so maybe that was an exaggeration, but there has to be something. Maybe there's something in one of the crime scene photos. Wait a minute, there is something! But that was in the lab. I don't have the particular weapon here in evidence right now, but I do have a piece of evidence just like it.